Well, a little bit more Cobalt stuff, and probably some Sonic stuff as well. We got both Cobalts out here. They haven't moved too much since a video a little while back, swapping out the trunk lids on both of these. So just another quick rehash. This is the 09, this is the 08. This is the 09. They're fundamentally about the same car, both LNF turbos. In general, the 09, the car I've had for a long time, is better shape mechanically, sort of cosmetically, but this one has the hail damage. This one's the more recent purchase, thinking it was better, not as good as I thought. So we're taking a couple pieces off this car, putting it on here, and then eventually turning this into something a little bit cooler. Well, this car will be donated to the parts bin for several projects. But that being said, where we are now is really the last little cosmetic piece for a little bit, and that is the hoods. This one, both hoods are dirty, so you probably can't tell too well, but this one's just full of hail damage. In some ways, this is probably better shape as far as paint and like non-hail dents. I say that may sound a little bit weird because going over to this one, there's no hail damage in this car, but it does have a couple kind of issues in the front. Maybe hard to see, but there's kind of a little dent there. Paint chip here, which I'm not worried about. And then there's a little dent there, and then that's another dent. But good news is the plan is to swap these out and then wrap a little bit of this car. So I'm not too worried about this, other than I will try to get a little bit of that fixed. But anyway, first thing we're going to do here is just pop both of these. So here's a 08 LNF turbo, stockish. That is a kind of like a fender well cold air intake. I kind of forgot that was on here. Vibrant. I don't know if that's the brand or what, but otherwise mostly stock under here. And then over to the 09. Kind of the same thing, except this one does have a K&N style cold air intake, excuse me. But otherwise, both are dirty. This cleans up pretty good. I just haven't bothered with doing this project, and the weather's been all over the place recently. But about 100,000 miles on this. Mechanically, knock on plastic, everything's solid. We're over here, this one's probably about 130 some thousand. I actually don't exactly remember. But otherwise, this one did have a new clutch. Otherwise, it's more or less about the same. This had some stereo mods and some electronic stuff done to it, so you never know when some of that stuff's done. Any more noticeable in the interior. But anyway, so simple little video, at least when it comes to these two cars. All we're going to do is swap the hoods. Underneath the hoods, they didn't come with the little fire blanket thing, which, whatever, no big deal. This can be cleaned up a little bit, but not too worried at the moment. And then over back to the 09, same thing. Underneath the hood looked good. They could probably, well, I don't know, is this one layer, two layers? I actually don't know. Probably just one, but who knows how well they could have taken some of the hail damage out, but it's easier to swap at this point since I have both cars. So anyway, 4 bolts plus the strut. I'm thinking these are 13s. There's really nothing involved as far as swapping the hoods themselves. The only thing that's slightly challenge is just making sure everything aligns right. So checking out the 08 here. I know it's not closed, but that was pretty well in alignment over the years. One other minor thing, there's a tiny little, let me get out of the sun, there's a tiny little push up, I don't know what you call it, bend right here in the corner. I think there might have been something down in the little crevice down here when the hood was open one time with whoever, and they probably just put a, I can kind of see a slight bend. This one does not have that, but not too worried. I think I can probably, for the most part, get that out. But anyway, as far as alignment here, this one was pretty solid as well. So let's try to duplicate that. So anyway, pretty simple here. We'll swap the hoods, try to get them aligned right, and then we're going to clean these things up. Well, more so this one, and see what we have. All right, hoods are off. Nothing terribly difficult with that, other than slight awkwardness of just doing it as one person. But basically take the 4 bolts off. I kind of took 3 off, and then the last one with the support holding the hood up. Slowly took the last one off, and then kind of set the hood down. Over here I just laid a blanket so the hood could kind of just lay on top of that, so it was easier to kind of maneuver off, but not too bad. So easier, definitely easier with 2 people, but hey, gotta do what you gotta do. So yeah, hoods are off, time to swap them out. But just a quick check and comparison, maybe you can kind of see the reflection here. The better of the 2 hoods, other than that kind of slight damage along the front lip, pretty good, should clean up okay. I'm seeing a slight depressed area kind of here. If I move back, can you see that in the super minor, but can you kind of see that with the reflection? Not sure, but anyway, maybe something I can do with that. But over here, the other hood, which in some ways is actually better except for the hail damage, if I move around you can probably see all the hail damage. I bet you there's, on the hood alone, there's probably 50 or more hail damaged little pit things on there. So anyway, that's probably the flies like it. But anyway, looks actually kind of cool without the hood on. Never thought I'd say that, but time to swap these out and see what we end up with. Well, there it is. Turned out pretty good. Wasn't too much to it. As far as putting the hood back on, I just used this blanket, laid it on top of the engine, and then basically just set the hood down on top of the engine, and then tilted it up. I'm just kind of wedged in these corners. Who knows? That's probably, I don't know, maybe that's how this little bend happened here, but I'll try to get that worked down a little bit over time. But got it up, put the bolts in, then put the prop rod in, then just kind of played around with the bolts a little. You end up kind of having to, on both of these, shove them towards the passenger side to get the alignment pretty good. But overall, seems pretty good. So, or at least as good as they were originally. So yeah, this one, I'll be honest, I didn't try as hard because the hood's gonna be off this again, and we're gonna be taking parts out of it. But kind of the one that matters, looks pretty good. One thing I did notice, but it seems to be how it sits, is it seems like this is a little bit high, but I don't know. I mean, the hood is well latched, so, and it doesn't rattle or anything either. So, but I don't know, maybe it was always like that and didn't notice. Would kind of make sense because you can see the dirt and pollen have been laying down there. But anyway, you step back a little bit, car's obviously still dirty, but other than that little crease on the left side, paint chip in the middle I'm not worried about. Like I said, we're going to wrap it. A little dent near the right, and there is a little bit dent there too. So 3 small dents we'll try to get out of the hood. The trunk should be good, and then I'll probably take this down in Denver somewhere and see if maybe we can get some of these hail dents out of this thing, and then I don't know, go from there. But well, that's it for this one, but we're not quite done. We're going to tinker with this thing a little bit more before it days out. A little follow-up on the Sonic ZZP cold air intake install from, I guess, probably last video. Everything's good, works good. There is one issue, unfortunately, and I kind of thought it was going to be an issue, and sure enough it was. And that is the intake tube here in one of the, I think, AC lines. They basically touch. I mean, right now they're not technically they're barely touching, if not. The problem is when you start the car, it makes a pretty bad rattling noise because the engine obviously shakes quite a bit when you turn it on, and that makes the intake tube shake and rattles against this. So I'm going to take I don't know, a small piece of maybe coolant hose or something and try to just slide between these two and push this down a little, and that should take care of that. But otherwise, hey, it worked out good. It looks good, it sounds good. You get that turbo tiny bit of sucking noise then with the air coming in. You get a little bit of blow off noise letting off the gas. Yeah, it looks cool. And then also definitely the one thing for sure that I can quantify is fuel economy. This thing was getting, for me, 91 premium up at elevation, going up and down several thousand feet of elevation every day. It's getting low 30s. Now it's about mid 30s as far as fuel mileage. So that's about 3 miles per gallon or so increase. And yeah, almost 10%. So heck, and handful of I don't know, whatever the math is, handful of fill-ups, that'll actually pay for itself. Power wise, it's hard to tell, but I probably picked up a little bit. So sound, power, looks, everything. So fuel mileage, I'd say it's worth it. So yeah, anyway, a couple little cosmetic things I'm gonna do to this, and yeah, that'll be it. All right, we're doing a little plastic powder coating here, aka spray paint. Taped off the bow tie and using a little Rust-Oleum semi-gloss and just painting the bow tie itself. Still have that little chrome kind of ring on the outside, but I don't know what happened. Just over time, the gold bow tie turned into just gross. So probably should have used something better and just paint. Being the front, this thing's probably gonna get chipped up, but yeah, it'll look good for a while. So anyway, that's just a quick little minor thing on the Sonic, and then one more back here, or at least just starting right now. I'm gonna do the old removal of the, I kind of like the RS, but I don't know, it might look weird, just the RS by itself. So probably take all this off. I'm not going to bother painting this bow tie because taking that one off as well. You actually kind of see, I don't know if moisture got in there or what, but same thing was happening on the front, but it was way worse. So the whole thing had some kind of weird stuff on it. So anyway, same as the Cobalt, we're just going to heat these up and take the stuff off. Well, I taped off and mashed off the whole front of the car for no overspray and to paint the bow tie, and yeah, it looks like nothing because the actual bow tie fell off when I was taking everything off. So this piece here is, you know, glued or whatever it was to the actual overall bow tie that came off. So unfortunately, I'll have to clean that up a little bit, put some double-sided tape or glue or whatever, and get that back on. But overall, it looks good, and I can maybe temporarily stick it on there so you get at least an idea of what it looks like, because it looks pretty good. It's a little wet, so I probably shouldn't be doing this. Maybe it's the other way around. Oh yeah, it is. Apparently there's an actual top and bottom. But anyway, yeah, looks pretty good, or well, at least looks way better than the rusty, weird, faded gold thing. So I think that's a lot cleaner. But anyway, get that glued on. We'll be done with that. Over here in the back, we sort of got progress. Got the Sonic RS and the turbo gone, but unfortunately, this bow tie is very much stuck on. So I didn't want to use any kind of pry tools and potentially mess out the paint, so I'm gonna have to buy maybe some fishing line or something, because the old what do you want to call it, dental floss trick was not quite good enough. So I'll get that fixed. Absolute worst case, I'll probably have to paint this one black, but I really don't want to. You can kind of see, unfortunately, we got some marking here. This has been cleaned and everything. And unfortunately, that is the result of 10, 12 years, whatever, of a hatchback and flinging stuff up on the back here. But I think I can polish that out, just like the just like the Cobalt SS over there. I think I can polish that out a bit. So that is that's it for the Sonic, at least for now. So get that thing glued on, finish the bow tie on the back. This thing needs a bath. Then this is going to get its what's next? Get its full exhaust put on. Then it's time for a tune on this guy, girl, whatever. And then the twins over here. This one's more or less getting parked. I'm gonna start taking all the engine drivetrain stuff out of this. This one's got a whole list of stuff. I don't even remember half of it, but brakes, coilovers, rear sway bar, intercooler, coolant, charge pipes, more stuff I'm probably forgetting. Clean this up, see how it looks, maybe try to get some of these dents out. Ultimately, get a kind of partial wrap for this thing. Most, if not all, the hood, the top, and then maybe just the wing in the back. So anyway, I think that's it for now. Just some cosmetic stuff, but performance things coming up next. So yeah, Cobalt, Sonic, S10. Oh yeah, I want to do the part 2 or redo of the old wide body thing on the S10. But yeah, and race car, and got to fix the, oh, we got another George back there. He's kind of hiding. Fix the Jeep, and oh gosh, so much stuff. But anyway, I think that's it for now. I was going to wash these and then see how they look, but it's starting to get dark a little early. I think it's going to rain. So I think that's going to be it for now. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one.